On day one of this documentary series, 177 days ago, I weighed 213 pounds and was experiencing all sorts of metabolic health issues. Today, 177 days later, I stand here in the same forest, a changed person. What were the odds on day one that it would turn out like this? That is today's topic. What were actually the odds of 180 videos getting made? What were the odds of me achieving all three objectives, which were to get off of prescription medication, to get my blood work in normal range, and to regain my morning vitality? What were the odds of me standing here today on day 177, weighing 165 pounds and feeling light on my feet and confident and attractive and fit? I will attempt to unravel that in today's video, but I have to preface it by saying that I never could have imagined on day one how transformative the last 6 months have been. This has been beyond anything that I imagined or could have hoped for. But today the question is about the odds. So let's start with what had the highest odds. What were the odds that if I actually followed ChatGPT's advice, as I did, that my metabolic health would resolve? And here I would say that the odds were 100% or 99%, because my doctor had told me that my condition was reversible. ChatGPT told me that my condition was reversible, and ChatGPT laid out a plan that I bought into on how to achieve those goals. The odds of my body recovering, if I did those things, I think 99.5%. Those are good odds. The next question is, what were the odds that I would actually stick with the program? Once I'd made that decision, once I'd made the commitment, my odds were pretty good that it was going to happen. I would say that the odds on day one that I would actually follow through with the metabolic transformation and do the necessary things by changing how I eat and changing my sleep and walking after every meal and cutting out sugars and carbs, pretty good. I would say at least 50-50, maybe 60% that I would actually go through with that once I decided. And the odds increased with the project, because anybody who's been following this experiment will recall that the weight loss was quite dramatic in the first few weeks, and that was very motivating, and that actually increased, I think, the odds of me seeing this process all the way through. And then the third question that I've sort of been playing with is, what were the odds that I would actually complete 180 episodes of the Morningwood Chronicles and fully document this process to the end? And there I would say that the odds were, again, heavily influenced by knowing myself. I said I was going to do it, and therefore the odds were pretty high that I would. And the video and the documentary aspect, I think, was actually complementary with the metabolic work that I had to do, because it sort of committed me in a public way. And so all of those things, whatever the odds were, have come together, and we know where things have landed. Imagine a lottery ticket, and there are only 5 of these lottery tickets. So the prize is $100,000 in cash, and the cost of the ticket is $25. I think most people would take those odds and risk the $25. As I look back on this metabolic transformation and how I feel today, I feel like I won that lottery.